Today I have with me a familiar face, but in a different role, Melinda Carlson. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Way back in episode 35, you were on here, but you've changed positions at the university. You're our VP for Student Affairs,
Yes.
which is an incredibly important job as we reorganized and we made a division of Student Affairs because of the emphasis on the student. Now, you have a really large role here, housing and dining and student engagement, and I'm probably leaving out most of the other things that you do as well. But an incredibly important role because we think about the things that go on inside the classroom, and you deal with a lot of things that go on outside the classroom, but it's that student engagement piece. So it's really hard to get students engaged these days, isn't it?
It is.
Tell me what you're doing to get our students engaged.
Yeah. So really it goes into meeting them where they are, right? Figuring out what it is that they're interested in and giving them the opportunity to be engaged in that way. So it's not so much what we're doing for them, but what we're doing with them, right? Helping them in the decision-making process, making sure that what we offer is something that they want to be a part of.
We've talked about in a previous episode traditions and how important that is, and I know that you've led the effort on some of those traditions. We've talked about Frost Camp and things like that, and we know that it makes a difference. So how do you get them involved in things like Frost Camp and Greek life and being part of the campus?
Yeah, I think the more we can take something that's really big and making it small, so things like new student orientation, exposing students early and often to those recognized student organizations. You know, we know that if a student is a member of a recognized student organization, they graduate in 4 years at a 10% higher rate than folks that aren't. And so just giving them that exposure. We have 350 student organizations here.
So it's about breaking it down into small groups. So 22,000 students feels large, but you try to make it feel small. That's key.
Yeah, I think so. Whether that's in housing, starting with their RA, or whether it's their new student orientation leader, or whether it is our Office of First Generation Student Success Peer Mentors, you know, folks that can really make it smaller and manageable. Because we know that if a student knows they belong, if they're connected, if they feel like they matter, they'll persist and they'll do well.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about, you know, the importance of living on or near campus. We're building new student housing, right? That's exciting. You know, making 6 to 8 new friends is important, and then being part of an affinity group or something. We know what those factors are. We just have to get them there, right?
That's right. That's right.
So tell me something you want to brag about.
Yeah, something that I want to brag about is that we are ranked first in the state in terms of student experience. So we are the #1 student experience in the state of Tennessee.
That is incredible. What's your biggest challenge, just looking ahead?
Gosh, the biggest challenge looking ahead is probably just what we talked about, making sure we have something available for everybody. And I think really focusing on that first year.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Linda, thank you so much for all you do.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.